Continue ahead to begin your franchise. Use the options on the left to edit league settings or change your role to a
All right.
player or owner.
So I screwed up. I didn't have my microphone on. Now I do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I have decided that I am going to create a sub 70 OVR team. And let's see what I want here. Growth and talent, modification. Okay, I'm going to focus on team builder. And so I'm going to pick players that are all 70 OVR or less. And I'm not looking for like hidden development, guys that I know are going to be future studs. What I'm really looking for is just truly sub 70 players. I'm going to try and be somewhat intentional with, obviously with cornerbacks, my DBs, and my let me get through this real quick here. I'm going to try and be super intentional with my, like my DBs and my wide receivers. Obviously, I'm going to look for speed. I know that picking up speed, I am going to, probably give up like catch ability, release ability, things like that. I'm going to work with what I've got, but I'm going fully sub 70. And I thought about a couple of different ways to do this. So I thought, first of all, so I'm going to try all Madden Sim. That all looks good. Let's see here. Ability edits. I don't care about that. I don't need that. Injuries on. Practice stealing on. I'm going to need that because I'm probably going to be pulling from practice squads for my starters. We'll do fatigue on. Injury on. I'm just going to keep it all real here. On-field control. I don't like minimum roster size, especially as I'm going to be doing a bunch of trading here, which I'll discuss here in a minute. Unlimited movement, OVR not restricted, cut list, unlimited. Okay, good enough. That looks good. Okay, so I thought of a couple of different ways to, gosh, this is being super slow in responding. A couple of ways to do this. First, I thought like doing a fantasy draft and drafting, 75 sub 70, 70 or sub 70 players. But what I didn't like about that is even if my quarterback, or at least this is the way I think it works, even if my quarterback is let's say I don't know, let's take a look at our sub 70 quarterback. So even if my first pick is a sub 70 quarterback, I'm still paying him 12, 15 million a year for 5 years, and I don't want to do that, right? So I don't want to like do a sub 70 team and make it so it's hard to re-sign my guys. So just an example here, we're going to look at the NFL roster. We're going to go to quarterback. Probably going to be easier. I don't know, we'll just do it this way. So let's just say I'm going to look for throw power, right? I think throw power is one of the more important utilities of a quarterback. So I'm going to go down here till I see a sub 70. Here we go. Eason has a 92 throw power. So it's not a great speed, and I'm kind of a scrambler, but that is what it is. So I might pick up a guy like Eason, or he might be my starter, or I might go with a guy like, who do I got here? Jordan Love. He's a little bit faster, still 90 throw power. Joe Flacco, come on. That's such a horrible rating for Flacco. He deserves better than that. Let's see here. Jacoby Brissett. This guy kills me. His throw power is 89. Probably this is who I'd go with. There's something about Josh Rosen. I love Josh Rosen. I don't know why. I just do. Anyway, so there's lots of sub 60 options here. So I would probably do like a couple of sub 60 quarterbacks, looking mostly at throw power. Halfbacks, I would be looking at. I'd probably pick up one strength guy, one elusive guy. So that's what I'd be looking for. But all sub 70. So here's my hypothesis. And first of all, let me caveat this by saying I am not a great Madden player. When I play in leagues, I absolutely suck. I am lucky to get 4 to 6 wins in a season, and probably half or more of those are forced wins because the other player wasn't available, right? Or I'm playing against the CPU. So I do pretty well against the CPU, but I am not a Madden stud by any means. When I play guys that are at all decent, I throw, I don't know, 4 to 6 interceptions a game, and they blow me up 70-14. So that's the kind of Madden player I am. But here's my hypothesis. My hypothesis is this, that even that Madden is set up to struggle at the beginning of the year, that the algorithms are set up that no matter who your team is, you're going to struggle at the beginning of the year. You're going to build some chemistry into games 4, game 5. And if you can pick plays and run plays, no matter how great you are, you will put together a run at the end of the season. So with a good team, that means that I can typically, like I've had some 16-0 seasons against the CPU. And if you're not a Madden player, I promise you that's not bragging, because anybody that knows a few plays can go 16-0 if they, if they really want to. So, but I've also had some, I don't know, some like 11-5 seasons. Now this year we've got an extra game in the mix, so it'll be more than that. I think last year with my current 2022 Seahawks team, last year I won the Super Bowl. I was like 14-3. And pretty much at least the championship game and the Super Bowl were not even really that close a game. And I'm not that great of a player. So my hypothesis is this. It doesn't really matter how good your players are. Madden is created and built to allow you to develop your players and improve team chemistry and improve your team throughout the year. And so your player OVR or your player abilities, their number on the screen, really isn't as important as having a few key plays that you know how to run and execute. And I'll probably am going to see a lot of dropped passes, a lot of fumbles this year, more than I would usually see. That's what I predict. On defense, defense is such a crapshoot anyway. I feel like no matter how long I've been playing, even against the CPU, even against a human, my defense can't shut anybody down. So the goal is, if I can stop them from scoring 1 or 2 series in a game, and I can score every series in a game, that's my goal, then I win. That's the difference between me winning and losing, to be honest with you. So my defense is never that astounding. It's a successful defensive stand if it takes them an entire quarter to get into the end zone, but they still get into the end zone. Okay. So I don't think with my player ability that the actual players on my team make that much of a difference. So that's my hypothesis. So I'm going to do a sub 70 team. 70 is going to be the highest OVR of any player on my team. And we're going to start in preseason so that I can go through the develop player practices and improve their OVRs. And anytime I get a breakout game, I'm going to do all that, but I'm not going to do any trades. Unless I get a player hurt, I'll pick up somebody from free agency, or in the beginning, I am going to trade. So here's how I decided to do it. Instead of doing a fantasy draft, I'm going to start with my existing team, and I am going to go to the trade center and trade away my normal starters for the players that I want. And I'm not going to go through that right now because it's going to take some time. Because like when I trade a guy like Russell Wilson, I'm going to get 3 players in 3 impact positions. There's still going to be sub 70 guys, but I'm going to make sure that I get 3 players. So for most of my players, it'll end up being a one-on-one, but I want to be really intentional with my studs on my team, my Russell Wilsons, my Bobby Wagners, my whoever. Let's see who I'm picking from here, or who I'm trading from here, just to get an idea of, so I've got Wilson, Wagner, Jamal Adams, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. All these guys are going. Carson's going. Brown's going. All these guys are going, all right? So all these guys cleared. It's too bad to see Jordan Brooks. I hate to give up Jordan Brooks, but I'm going to find another one. He's just going to start below 70. So I got to go a long ways down here. Okay, so these guys on my team, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm not going to count them because I'm in preseason, so I've got too many. But most of my sub 70 guys here are going to stay, unless they're just absolute crap. And every Madden team has their no ways, like your guys in your 50s. Yeah, well, maybe that'll be my next. Like Tyler Ott is a long snapper. Poor guy has a 36 OVR. I don't think that's fair, but maybe. So I'm going 70, sub 70, and maybe depending on how this turns out, maybe I'll try next to do a sub 60 team and see how that works for me. That actually scares me a little bit, but that might be fun. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm coming to you. I'm telling you my hypothesis that even a sub 70 team, I could potentially win the Super Bowl. I expect to see kind of the same story arc all the way through Madden. Struggle, having some chemistry, some connectivity issues in the first 4 or 5 games, starting to come together as a team, getting some breakout players midway through the season, and then putting together a run at the end of the season. That's what I expect. I could be 100% wrong. I could end up 0-16, 0-17 this year. Who knows? But that's what we're going to do. So I will come back when I have my team put together. I'll run through my team. Like I said, I'm going to trade away guys to pick up sub 70 guys. I am going to be intentional about player attributes, but I'm not picking rookie studs that are just undervalued. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not picking hidden development guys. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm not even really going to look at development. What I'm really going to look at is a couple of attributes for each position. So quarterback is going to be throw power. Offensive line is primarily going to be strength. Tight end is I'm really going to look at size and catching ability for tight end. I think that's what I'm looking for. Wide receiver, defensive backs, I'm looking for speed. And what am I missing? My defensive line, I'm probably looking for strength on the inside, probably some speed on the outside. Halfbacks, I'm looking for probably both speed and power. So anyway, so that's what I'm looking for, but I'm going to do it all sub 70, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. So hopefully you enjoy the season with me, and we will chat soon with the roster. Bye.